Prior to discovering black metal, did you still have, a love for death? Did you still believe in darkness and Satanism, or was this shaped by your love for the music and the brotherhood of the scene when you entered it?
I think that metal in general, or black and death metal, became a sort of confirmation of something that was already happening inside me, and that had been happening throughout my childhood and younger adult years. But it was definitely not a it was not I don't know, this is very personal stuff, but it's how to say,
it wasn't a conscious decision, it was just with you from birth.
Yeah, of course it was. I mean, I think that every man comes to a point in life when you want to when you want to polarize and maybe put into a more concrete pattern and shape the thoughts that have been with you while you have been growing up and so on.
Yes.
Everyone have their subconscious ideals and viewpoints, while growing up. And I think at a certain point, like around 13 or 14 in my case, it felt necessary to
display it.
Yeah, well, not really display it, but make these abstract things more concrete, for my own sake, not really for anyone else's sake, but to get to know myself, which is, I think, the most important step in any spiritual path, to come to know yourself, and that is, well, black and death metal, and of course, the even more so, obviously, the language and the symbolism and the pantheon of Satanism presented to me a rather elaborate system that I immediately felt very familiar with, and felt that I could express myself very naturally within. So.
Awesome, man. Without any of this social construct that has been built around us and we've been born into, we are just animals like everything else, and with no significance and no conscience. There is no right or wrong. Is this raw, pure form of our existence what you refer to as the lawless darkness?
No? Absolutely not. That primal aspect of man is actually, it's just to me a biological machine that may sound weird, but it doesn't actually interest me that much, because the part of the human being that the only part of the human being that I actually find relevant and worthy to explore and to develop is its spiritual side and its link to what it was before it existed. There is a link in every man's heart to a completely unbound and untamed force that has nothing whatsoever to do with primal instinct or biological needs, whatever they may be. It is a state of mind that is, I guess, in most world religions referred to as salvation or religious awakening. And for me, as a Satanist, I choose to refer to it this time as Lawless Darkness, as the unlit and the unexplored part of our minds and of our beings.
Yeah. This is kind of a lighter question. if you were not a musician, what would you be doing?
Yeah, it's.
I mean, one thing that's always
Is that a live question?
one thing that's always recurring about WATAIN is you guys are real, and you guys are genuine. You guys are 100% real about everything that you sing about. You represent that in your lives. You know, you live it. You don't just play it, and you're not entertainers. You live your music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was just curious as to, you know, if you weren't a musician, what would you be doing?
It's very hard to say. I mean, I find music or art, maybe, to use a broader term, because I consider myself not only a musician but a writer and even a graphical artist. And I find art in general to be the most I don't know, a very potent form of expression, you know,
right.
and a very the most natural way of expression for me. Someone once said that art and prayer are the only true ejaculations of the soul, and that is something that I can fully relate to, you know. And with that in mind, if I wouldn't have been an artist, I guess I would focus more on prayer and anything that implies.
Very cool. My final question. What's next for WATAIN, and will you guys make another trip to the U.S. in support of Lawless Darkness?
Right now we're a bit too much in the eye of the storm to know what's coming next.
You guys have your whole future planned out with touring.
Yeah, at least, I mean, I prefer not to think further than 3 weeks ahead, because with this band I've learned that, you know, it's the best way to go, because when you least expect it, someone cannot go somewhere because they're incarcerated or at the hospital. So it's...
You're going to visit Australia for the first time?
Yeah, that's the plan for 2011, and a bunch of other places where we haven't gone yet. But first of all, we're going to do this US run now, and we're off to South America after this one.
Very cool, man.
So that's pretty much it for now. And as far as another US tour in relation to Lawless Darkness go, I really don't know. It's a bit too early to say, but
you could say after this tour, maybe.
Yeah,
you know, more realistic. Any final words or comments?
Well, I mean, I can talk for hours, but as you may have realized. But no, I just, you know, I always like to point out that I think especially in the US, people might have gotten I think a lot of people come to the concerts and expect a sort of freak show, maybe, or a you know, something very controversial, taboo. And the only thing that I like to ask of people who come to the shows, you know, is to come there with a bit of a different mindset than that.
Right.
Just to come with an open mind and an open heart, you know, and let us enter there for a while.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, I was a fan of Sworn to the Dark when I went to the last show, and just seeing it live just brought it alive so much more. There was so much more energy than what was captured on the record live. And I mean, the record is amazing, but seeing you guys live is a completely different experience, and I definitely think that it's someone who's maybe not even interested in black metal should do.
Yeah, well, that's a good deal.
So I want to thank you, Erik, for taking time out of your day
Sure. Thank you, man.
to speak with me. I appreciate it.
Let him speak.